This is a little training video. I wanted to post our black Mustang, Kid Rock. We got him from the BLM for $25. He was part of the Player's Choice selection and he didn't get picked. Here I am putting the halter on, and I start with putting the long piece kind of over his ear and then just scoop the nose and tie the halter up. And now we're going to lead him into the arena. This will be his first time in the arena. I wanted to do just a little bit of work out there before going to saddle him. Today is going to be the first day he gets saddled. Before I do anything in the arena, I wanted to start with some desensitizing. I already desensitized him on the left side, so this video just shows a little bit on the right side. I just didn't want him to think we were going to go right into moving his feet. I don't want him to be scared of my tools or me, so that's good preparation. To get started is just do some desensitizing. And now I'm going to ask him to just lunge around a little bit. I have started with this 22-foot lead out in the arena just because if he goes to get away from me or anything, I have a little bit longer lead. I didn't necessarily need it this day. I'll probably just use the 14-foot lead from now on. He did real well with all of his lunging. We've done a lot of lunging in the round pen, so now he's ready to come out into the open and do lunging. And he's real soft on that right side especially. Loping's a little bit difficult for him. This video was actually taken about a week ago, and now his loping's getting a little bit better, so I'll try to just kind of update you as we go along with Kid and his training and just do these little video sessions. Here I'm doing circle driving with the Kid. Just putting that whip over his back. I kind of have him in a tighter circle. This kind of lunging does a little bit more bend. You know, you get more of a connection with the horse. I'm just asking him to keep forward motion there with the whip. And then I'm going to change directions. This is one of Clinton Anderson's exercises that I really like. And Kid, I think this was the second time I had asked him to do it. I think I tried it one time in the round pen. So he's kind of catching on to it real well. He's doing really well with all these preparation exercises. And he's got a lot of bend. I like to see that in his circles. So now we've moved into the round pen, and I'm just preparing him for the cinch. And I just have that long line around his belly. I just am going to pull it a little bit tight while he's moving around. And I just want him to face up like he did there and not overreact about it. And if he does go to react, I'm just going to ask him to come to me and then slow down a little bit. So he didn't react to it at all. Did real well. I'm going to do this on the other side. I won't typically flank him. Sometimes I'll do it accidentally because the rope will slide up back, but I don't want to make him buck the first time if I don't have to. There's just another little exercise. This is turn and go. I'm doing that is putting that rope, well, just a little turn, trying to get the feel. Get him to follow the feel of the rope. It's not actually turn and go because he's not. I'm not asking him to lunge after he comes out of his circle, but I want him to just follow that feel of that rope. This was kind of funny. This is something Chip did the first time I did this, and we actually think this horse and Chip may be brothers. This is number 2096 from Salt Wells, and Chip is number 2094. And they have a lot of similarities. So on the video, I just did the right side, but previously I did do the left side. So you want to do everything on both sides. And he really did well with it. This was the first time I did it, and I have the 22-foot lead on here so that I don't have to get so close to him in case he were to get worried about that rope behind his back end. He's kind of funny about me touching his face. I've been trying to do a lot of petting his face and just getting him to relax there. Here, getting started with the pad and saddle. I had the pad and saddle in the round pen and I was making him lunge around it and near it. Anytime he offered to kind of step over to it and check it out, I let him. So the pad, I'm just going to put it on both sides. He had the pad on the day before this. So this is not that new to him. And he handles it real well. I have taught him to bend his head pretty good and flex. So you'll see in the saddling process, I'll have his head a little bit more bent towards me, just in case he does panic at all. So now I'm just going to do the same thing that I did with the pad, with the saddle. And he's kind of got his ear on it, but he's not super worried about it. I use these neoprene saddles for these first saddlings. I like to let the horses run around with them for a while, all day. So these neoprene saddles are good ones to get beat up on. And they're nice and light. I can throw it up there on him a few times, and if he gets worried about it, I can just keep doing it, and it's not going to hurt my shoulder because it's a lighter saddle. If a horse is really worried about a saddle, I'll take all the cinches off and just start by just throwing the saddle on until I can safely have it on and feel like I can get it cinched up. So that time I threw that saddle on, I made sure all the cinches were going to fit him real well. I always start my first saddling, I'll always do from the right side, actually my first few saddlings. The reason I do this is so I can let all my cinches down and they're not getting tangled up under the saddle. I don't want to cross in front of the horse that many times, or the least amount of times that I have to. So that's the main reason for saddling on the right side, is just making sure everything's set good. Now I'm going to cinch him up. I'm just keeping an eye on his eye, kind of seeing what he's thinking before I go into full commitment. Once I get the saddle on, I'm committed, or once I have that front cinch on, I'm committed. And I use what we call a cinch hook. I don't know the maker of it, but a friend of mine bought it for me, and it makes the cinching process on these colts much quicker. You don't have to be over there for so long. So I've got the front and the back cinch on. I'm just going to step back over and grab the breast collar, and I just walk it around real smoothly. I don't want to be reaching under his neck. You know, these horses that haven't been saddled, they can really panic at any moment. So he just lets me get it on there real good. I want to get out of there as quick as I can. I'm just tightening it up one more time, making sure it's good. And then I'm going to just step away. I'm just going to back up and just ask him to move off a little bit. If he were to go to panic right there, I'd just kind of ask him to face up and slow down and go off again. So that video, the lunging got cut a little bit short. He did real well. He didn't have any bucking in the round pen here. Then I let him loose in the round pen and tighten the cinch a couple of times. And he really, really did well with this first saddling. Just just asking him to move off real gently. I don't want to cause him to panic and buck if I can avoid it. But sometimes the horses won't buck in the round pen, and then you'll move them into the arena, and that's actually where you will notice them bucking. That's why I like to do that, is because sometimes they kind of hold it in. And actually, Kid here did buck when I took him into the round pen, and here you'll see that. It was actually from the round pen into the arena that he kind of panicked, and I kind of sent him off maybe faster than I should have. I just kind of gave him a little spank on the butt, but I have a nice alleyway that goes from the round pen to the arena, so I don't have to lead them out there, because if I was leading him right then, he probably would have ran me over. So I leave him out in the arena to wear the saddle, and usually I'll kind of move him around with a horse and just get him moving and just let him get used to it all day. And then at the end of the day, I'll take it off and I'll put it on and off and on and off a few times just to make sure that we're good with that. Thanks for watching Kids First Saddling. I hope to have more videos for you guys.